right now because it's going to go to the video.
Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
I'll eventually get a new intro just for the baseball show, but this is the first ever baseball roundtable talk. I'm your host, Smokin' Jeremy B. I've got Adam McNally, who represents the Pirates, and I believe that's who Big Rich represents too.
Well, yeah, I've my main heart is in Pittsburgh, but I have been following the Rangers for 40 years now, so I guess I can kind of say I'm a pretty solid spokesman for the Rangers as well.
Awesome. So we have had some news. Oh, look at this. Ginger comes in with the jack wagon. Love it. Hey, look at this. I got two Pittsburgh fans with me. Proud to be here for first ever baseball show. Awesome. Thank you, brother. So, what moves have the Pirates made, guys? I'll let Adam do a couple, then I'll let you take over, Big Rich.
Now, Rich, where do you want to start?
No, let's start with the one. Let's start with the guy who I was on his bandwagon during the trade deadline last year that I wanted him to get, and that was Ryan O'Hearn. I love the signing of Ryan O'Hearn. He's flexible with first base, with outfield. He's probably going to start the season in left. Power stick, good stick. He's a solid 280 hitter. Probably going to be good for 25 to 30 bombs, especially in, hitting it into the river. So that's a big one there. One of the other ones that I think is going to fly under the radar, and if he does what the projections say that he will, it may not be this year, but next year, the old password is going to they got this kid from Boston, and I can never pronounce his first name right, so please don't shoot me on that one either. But he's a very young outfielder who has tremendous upside. And then I also liked us getting Gregory Soto for the bullpen. We made a lot of moves, and I liked 90% of them.
Yeah,
there's a couple I questioned.
It's really good that I saw that. And I think Detroit made a few good moves too. Number one, Creek Skubal winning his arbitration. I kind of called that because they weren't going to let him be on the team deal on the last year of that contract after back-to-back Cy Young. And we all knew that, but it was team control. Yeah, hello, guys. Long time no see. And MDE gave you an idea. Nickname for the name you cannot pronounce is Scrabble.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay. For those of you that are trying to figure out who or what the heck is he talking about, I'll give you the spelling of this kid's name here in just a second, and you guys can figure it out from there.
I'll see if I can butcher it after you do.
Okay. Yeah, Rich, just butcher it. Just butcher it. Just say it.
Just butcher the heck out of it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Here's the actual spelling of this kid's name. JHOSTYNXON. My best bet is Hostikson Garcia.
How about we just call him Garcia?
Well, they call him the password. Or, I mean, you could somehow get, Nick out of there, Nixon out of there. You could get Ty out of there. You could get John out of there. Whatever. That's why they call him the password.
Put it into the private chat for me, Rich, and I'll try to read it, because just hearing it, I couldn't get it.
I'm doing it right now. But I mean, he's not a big kid. Let me rephrase that. He's 6 foot, but he's a $163.
Oh, so he's paperweight.
So obviously he needs to go to Permanis, 7 or 8 times and load up on the my personal favorite, the pastrami. But how you like that one?
Okay, and that is a Hispanic name, correct?
It would be, which means the H is silent.
Right. But the J makes an H noise in Javier, so that would be Postinston, something like that.
Something to that general effect. Any way you look at it. But from what I mean, he was the number 3 prospect in the Red Sox organization, and was up for a hot minute last year. So, that was a good pickup. The trade we made with Tampa was big too. But yeah, you guys, that deal with Scooble. I mean, anybody that didn't think Scooble was going to win that arbitration is just stupid. There was no way in this world Detroit was going to win that arbitration.
But the reason why people thought that is because Scott Boras, his agent, had done this many times and lost 90% of them. So they had okay, we got a snowball's chance in hell. I personally heard because it was back-to-back Cy Youngs, there was no way they were winning.
Well, and I heard, and from what I was told, what I heard on MLB Network, it was gospel, that he walked into the meeting with the ultimate middle finger to the Tigers.
Right.
He walked in with both of his Cy Young awards and set them on the table.
And that's why I said I heard the Tigers couldn't win, is because he was a back-to-back Cy Young winner. So you notice, I had to do the framework of our background in Tigers colors because I am a Tigers fan. I got to stick to the Detroit team for my stuff. And it looks like I got to come up with a smoking tiger logo with the navy blue and orange. That way I got the right logo for stuff. But this is my logo I created. I finally got it printed onto shirts and hats. And
I like
so I guess I'm going to do that one too. So I'm going to do it with a tiger though.
I like it, Germ. I like it. I don't like. Yeah, I'm wearing but I'm wearing my Valentine's Day shirt, Germ.
I know. Look at you.
So stupid.
I feel so
I had to wear it though. I had to wear it. I never really wear t-shirts. So usually, wear a white tee or
Those handsome single guys,
Jose Urquidy.
Urquidy.
But for the Tigers,
wasn't he on Tigers?
Who?
No, Houston, right?
Jose Urquidy was for Houston. Yes. Sorry, guys.
Oh, more than likely, I would agree with that.
Yeah, but St. Louis has got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Well, and they got rid of one of their best players.
Right. They had a lot of loaded salary that they had to get rid of to make salary room to keep from going over the cap to get better players. The problem is no one wants to go there.
Which is a shame because that is, when you talk baseball, St. Louis is a trademark city for baseball. But, yes, they lost Arenado, but man, when they lost Brendan Donovan, that's big.
Yeah, it was huge.
That's real big. Hold on just a second, guys.
Yep. The big news that we heard this week was Nick Castellanos got cut by the Phillies and was picked up by the Padres an hour later. That kind of bothered me because we could have used that right-handed bat in our lineup.
I didn't think he was even going to make an hour.
I really wished we'd have got him into our lineup, even though he's not a third baseman, which is where everybody wants our power bat to go. I don't mind who we have there because they didn't do bad defensively. They're just not an offensive juggernaut, but a right-handed bat in our outfield. So, because let's face it, Kerry Carpenter can't hit a right-hander to save his ass, and he could have came in that situation.
Do you agree that we're getting to that point where the prototypical? Remember, you and I at least remember. Adam may be a little too young for this, but it was
Maybe.
it was written in gospel. Your power came from first, third, and the outfield, left and
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Your guys up the middle they hit for average, they hit for OBP. That was it. Your catcher couldn't hit to save his soul. He was back there to play defense, and that was it.
I think
And
the
it's
first catcher to change that was Gary Carter, if I remember right. Carl
Johnny Bench.
Yastrzemski was and Johnny Bench. Both of them would hit for power and average, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But you had the other guys like Carl Yastrzemski. He didn't have the best batting average. Every now and then he'd crank a home run, but he ran slower than molasses and would get picked off from right field at first base.
See, I think it's funny. Like you guys talk Johnny Bench and the other guy you mentioned didn't. I remember a little bit about Tony Pena, but Pudge was the first power catcher that I really remember, or Gary Carter.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Gary
I don't
Carter
remember.
played until you were probably following baseball, but he was at the tail end of his career in a shell of what he used to be.
Gary Carter being a power hitter, though. I remember him being more defensive.
Oh,
but you got to remember, a power hitter in the late 70s, early mid 80s was a guy that hit 30. That was a power guy. If he hit 25 or 30, that was remarkable. You didn't have 50 guys hitting 20 home runs. But nowadays, it doesn't matter. You've got power coming from all different positions. Second base, and that started in 84 or in the mid 80s, because you had Sandberg at second, who became the first real power hitting second baseman. You had, of course, as time went on at short, you had Ripken, and then you get, your A-Rods, and you get your Miguel Tejadas and guys like that. They're power hitting at shortstop. Center fielders, Andrew Jones, guys like that. Griffey, of course. So, and then the catchers, you had Pudge and people like that were hitting bombs, and it just kind of, I think it's kind of
evened
it out. Yeah.
You got a couple power hitters in right and left field that are better than everybody else, and that's going to stay that way. And then, of course, you got Shohei Ohtani, who's a pitcher.
Right. And the universal DH has had a lot to do with that, too, because let's be honest, if Ohtani had to play a position, I don't think they would let him do both.
Right. I think he would be a DH still if he was a position player.
And I don't think he would have left the Angels.
Oh, 100%. If he was a position player, he wouldn't have left the Angels.
Yeah, if we wouldn't have had universal DH, I think Shohei is still an Angel, or maybe a Mariner.
Probably a Yankee.
He said right out of the chute he didn't want to go to New York.
Yeah,
but he took New York off the table right out of the box.
I think at the time, because one of the teams that was looking at him, because we had the money to do so, because Tariq Skubal was nowhere near arbitration or anything like that, the Tigers was mentioned as one of the teams he was looking at. Because think about it, if you put Shohei Ohtani with Tariq Skubal and Casey Mize, we'd have never picked Jack Flaherty up.
No, but could you imagine what he would have done wrapping balls around that pesky pole? He'd have hit 80 in Boston.
Oh yeah.
If Bond's record would have been shattered a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, if he'd have went to Boston, because I think it was Dodgers, Tigers, Boston. I think he even mentioned there was another East Coast team, Southeast. Who was it? It was in the National League, wasn't it? The Marlins that they talked about going to.
I think it was the Marlins that were in the hunt. And originally, it was the Marlins, the Tigers, the Dodgers, the Angels,
and Red
Seattle. Sox. And I'm trying to remember who the other one was.
Red Sox.
The Red Sox, yeah. And boy, I tell you, a couple of those places, man. You talk about hitting in a bandbox. Good grief.
Right. I mean, we have a big stadium, but since they made it a little more home run friendly by moving the fields in that 10 feet all the way around, it did make a difference last year. And it made more of a difference for the home team than the away team with Detroit, if you actually paid attention to the power numbers.
Yeah.
All
And
those
if you
line
think
drives
about
that we hit the year before were going over the fence now because they were able to carry that under 330 distance and I think the left or right infield, right center in outfield wall moved in from 415 to 405, and that was huge. That's the power alley.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, Ohtani has spent his entire career playing in cavernous stadiums because Anaheim Stadium is really big, and Chavez Ravine. I mean, that's a freaking just Grand Canyon of a stadium trying to hit it out of, and he's
I
still hitting
I,
ridiculous numbers of homers.
I remember when he hit that first home run about against Houston, where it cleared the whole hill at Minute Maid Park.
Yep. Yeah, and I've seen two guys hit a ball over that hill. I've seen two guys hit it, and that's it.
Yeah, one
Carlos
Shohei
Lee,
Ohtani, and is the other one Judge?
no, Jeff
Who was it?
Bagwell and Carlos Lee. Jeff
Oh,
Bagwell and
okay.
Carlos Lee.
Oh, you're talking
And I
about prior
saw
to
this.
Ohtani, right?
Yeah, prior to Ohtani.
Okay.
Carlos Lee hit one against the Rangers one night that I don't think has landed yet.
So
I mean, he just smoked that
Was
one.
that off the concrete at the top over the center?
yeah,
Mhm.
a Bagwell hit it into the upper deck where it landed on the concourse past the bleachers out there. But and that was an amazing moonshot. And they tried to say that that was only 450 feet. Bullshit. If it was flat land, it went 510.
Yeah.
That left field isn't very big, but it is very friendly to hitting a ball.
What, in Houston?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Crawford boxes are really close. That's why Altuve has all the home runs he has. He's hit about 70% of them at home, and he's a dead pull hitter.
Yeah.
Bregman's the
Dead
same way.
pull down the left
I
field
want to.
line.
Bregman doesn't have. Well, he kind of has that luxury back this year now that he's at Wrigley. But he didn't have that luxury in Boston with the monster because he doesn't hit those towering shots. Bregman's more of a liner guy, and
Right.
he hit the hell out of the wall. But I think him at Wrigley this year, I think he's going to do well there.
I think that was the best thing for Bregman's career was to get out of Houston because you saw his true power numbers go up with all the fields that more matched his power stroke.
Mm. Yeah.
But for the Tigers here, getting Frambe Valdez from Houston, that signing was huge. Then we got the arbitration done, so we know Tariq Skubal is here for now, at least through the trade deadline. And I'll tell you what, with that rotation, if they're in first place at the trade deadline, he's going nowhere. They're going to keep him for a playoff push. There's no reason to get rid of him at that point. But then adding Justin Verlander to Casey Mize, we know Reese Olson is out for the season because he had a hiccup with his recovery from his Tommy John surgery. So he's out this season. That's an immediate upgrade until Jackson Jobe comes back because we also got Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty is a good 3 to 4 inning guy, but once he hits the third time through a rotation, he starts to fall apart. So I think as soon as Jackson Jobe gets here and does a couple of those in-game pitching situations down in the AAA league for Erie, he'll be brought up and he'll be made our 5th starter. And they'll move Flaherty to mid relief because of that 2 to 3 good innings that he has. And that rotation is going to be nasty if that happens.
Knowing what you know about what's happening with the Tigers right now, if they tried to do like the Braves did with Spencer Strider and say they offered him 10 years, 400, would he take it?
Skubal, more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he's looking for. But the problem is nobody's going to make those type of deals right now until they know if the salary cap gets voted in next year or not.
Well, yeah, I mean
if that
that's
salary cap gets voted in and they vote out the deferment of payments like that, you know who's in a lot of trouble because that's one of the other things up
the
there.
Dodgers.
The
Yeah,
Dodgers will be in so much trouble because immediately their salary cap goes to over $6 billion a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Adam and I were talking about this on our show a couple weeks ago that the Dodgers' biggest if I could eliminate one thing from baseball right now, it used to be the guaranteed contract. It's the deferred contract. If you're supposed to make $100 million over 10 years, then you make $100 million over 10 years. You get 10 million a year or however I don't care how you structure it, but in that 10-year period, you make that $100 million. I don't care if you make a million a year and then 91 million the last year. It doesn't matter. But you've got to make it in the deferred payments is wrecking this thing. And you're right, man. If they do, and that's probably why we're going to have a work stoppage next year because the Dodgers are going to be the biggest ones wanting to not have this salary cap hit because they will be just screwed blue and tattooed, and they're going to have to get rid of some guys that they don't want to get rid of.
I don't think if they hit the salary cap, it'll be bad. It'll be if they eliminate the deferred payment. That's what'll hurt them.
Do you think? Jeremy, we talked about this on Thursday. Do you think he deferred it because of that goofy ass tax?
The luxury tax.
No. Yeah. Well, the jock tax. You know what that is? The athletic tax. It's in 46 of 50 states. The only 3 states and 1 province it's not in is Florida, Texas, Washington, and Washington, D.C. That's it. So technically 47 states it's in. And California has the highest jock tax of anyone. And everybody thought it was based off a salary and that's why Darnold had to pay in. Oh, no. It's per game you do that. And because that was considered a bonus, it got hit with a luxury tax for the Super Bowl, and he ended up having to pay $71,000 over what he got paid for the $178,000 bonus for playing in the Super Bowl, which is absolutely ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
But
there were a bunch of guys that lost money for winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they won the Super Bowl, they got the bigger check, but because of the tax, everybody on the team lost money. Pretty much, except for maybe the minimum wage players, the league minimum players.
Crazy. But do you think that's why Ohtani tried to defer this?
No, because it still comes out. Whether it comes out at the end or it comes out each year. No, they deferred it because look at what they gave him. It was a $600 million contract.
I get it, but
700.
Yeah, or 700 million over what was it?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years, 700.
That'd have been $70 million a year. So they cut it down to a $2 million a year contract. He'll still get hit with that when he's paid the deferred money at the end of that contract. He'll still, and it'll be even higher than what it would be if he'd have done it over each year. If you think about it, because it's going to be a lump sum, and it gets hit as a luxury tax because of that lump sum. He cost himself money in the long run.
The Dodgers didn't want to have to pay more luxury tax money for having that extra 70 mil on the payroll because they were already over. Then they were going to be 70 mil more over with the Freeman contract and the Betts contract and all these other guys,
But I will say, since everybody else is doing it, the Tigers took advantage of that with the Justin Verlander contract. Even though it's $13 million, we deferred $11 million of it to next season. And even though we did that with the arbitration of Skubal, the signing of Frambe, and the $2 million for Justin Verlander, we bumped ourselves from 26th last year, which was what everybody was making fun of the Tigers for not spending money. We're now 9th in the league in spending for this season alone.
Anything you get out of Verlander is going to be a bonus.
Right. I think the way they plan on doing it, and I think it's a mistake, they want to use Flaherty in the third starting rotation. I think he needs to be 5th. I think I would rather have Mize there and then Verlander, or even go lefty, righty, 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 something like that. Because I think going Skubal, Frambe, which are both left-handers. Marcus on the go. What's up there, big hoss with the sauce?
Yeah, you're right.
I think it would be better to go like Scooble, Mize, then Frambe, then Verlander, then Flaherty, in that order. Because when Jackson Jobe gets back, he's another lefty. Then you're bringing him in as the fifth starter, and then you got lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, and that's going to be hell on lineup.
No,
that's nice. I'm not as big into the college baseball, even though Michigan's pretty good at it. But I love the direction.
We got a pretty good kid from LSU on the mound.
Oh, so you're an LSU Tiger fan, or are you talking about Marcus? They're talking about
I'm talking about Paul. I'm talking about Paul Skeens.
Skeens, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna go college baseball for just a second,
sure.
I gotta throw a little baseball love out here for our Baylor Bear. I don't know if you guys saw this on SportsCenter last night. My guy Tom Barfield, who I worked with for many, many years, was on the call. Tice Armstrong for the Baylor Bears last night hit 3 grand slams in one game.
I heard about him. Yeah, 12 RBI.
Only the second time in baseball history, college and pro, it has ever happened. And yeah, and they only played 7 innings because the third grand slam caused a run rule.
Right, caused the mercy rule.
Yeah, it was a walk-off mercy rule, or he might have had a shot to get 4. But yeah, 3 grand slams last night. So Tice Armstrong from Baylor, their first baseman.
Way to go, Tice. Way to go.
Full power hitter.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, the only thing I got to ask, is he using the torpedo bat or is he using the aluminums like they do in college?
Aluminum.
I hate that they do that because some of those power numbers get a little skewed because some of those bats, it's not that they're hot, it's just that the way they put the power into it and reflect it to make the ball travel even faster, it turns me off a little bit. I wish that in college they would make them go to wood bats.
Well, I'm glad they deadened them because like back in the day of Incaviglia and those guys, it was like hitting ping pong balls. But now they've deadened the bats. So yes, they're aluminum, so they don't have to be replacing so many bats, which that's the thing. It's the cost factor for college baseball. But they're not replacing as many, but they're not hitting as many outs as they were before. The leader in home runs last year in college baseball only hit 34. Right. So, they have definitely turned things. So,
but how good is that lineup to have them set up for 3 grand slams? That's what I'm thinking. There's probably a lot of small ball players on that team where they hit for average, and then he's in that 4th or 5th spot cleaning up.
Well, I can tell you this about Mitch Thompson and his team because I worked with those guys for eons. I was a stat guy for them for several years, that kind of thing. I've known Mitch Thompson a long time. He uses this. He's not as concerned about analytics. He uses this. And the guys he's got on that team, I was talking to their play-by-play guy the other day, in fact, and he said that if they stay healthy, this team has a legit shot of making a really nice run. But last year they had 7 of their 9 starters spend time out hurt. So, last year was kind of a scrap heap. If these guys are healthy, they can make some noise. And the top of the lineup is showing that.
Thanks.
So
cool. I love this. It's a lot of fun, and I'll be doing more and paying more attention to baseball now that this is what I'm going to be doing, starting as a regular show 2 weeks before the regular season opens up. And that's so we can get more of a preseason review and stuff like that. And I can build up my knowledge because I love baseball. I know a lot about the game itself, and I know a lot about my Tigers, but I got to brush up around the league and get used to setting up a league type chat because I want to have it so I have multiple fans, kind of like I do on my NFL Roundtable talk.
Absolutely.
That's what I want this to become. I want it to become just like that and become one of my most watched shows.
Rich, I think I'm taking your guy tomorrow, just to let you know.
Well, William Byron?
Yeah. Just feeling it. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Daytona 500?
Yeah.
Yep. I'll give you a secondary guy to take too. And I realize it's gonna be really kind of off the wall, but take Corey Heim. Corey Heim in the 67 car, especially if you're doing DFS. You can get him for next to nothing. And the kid, he dominated the truck series last year, won 12 races and just made the automatic jump. The kid's going to be a stud.
Sorry,
but
I just saw my kid posted the 500 on the comments.
I know.
That's what got me talking about it.
It's been there for 5 minutes.
I know.
I do have to bug out, guys. Jeremy, I really appreciate the invite on this, man. And anytime that you want me to be, I'll definitely see what I can do to be a part of it when you want me to.
Or maybe for now, because it's preseason, we'll do this every 2 weeks rather than every week for now, just to have to get it going and build up for the regular season. And that way we get enough news, because signings are done. Winter meetings are basically they're done. We're getting in ready for the season mode. But I want to thank you for joining us, Big Rich. Shout out your channel and shout out do you still go live on the radio?
Not anymore. I'm working with a station in Atlanta, Georgia, and in Enterprise, Alabama, called Retro FM, 101.1 in Enterprise and 102.1 in Albany. But we do have our, I will Monday have the inaugural 2026 edition of Two Tire Change, 6 Eastern, 5 Central. That's our NASCAR show. I'll get into the whole speed weeks from Daytona, and we'll be talking about all that. Tuesday night, of course, all of us are part of open mic night on Driving to the Top. And then Wednesday night, this guy over here and I do Steel City Sports Talk.
We can never get back on target.
Well, yeah.
That guy.
Not this guy. This guy.
That guy.
This guy. Me and Rich I don't think me and Rich have been off target for a couple weeks.
Well,
yeah,
you had a rough end of 2025. And I mean, with personal issues that happened. Between you working all night and then his health issues, it got rough for you guys for a minute. And I'm so glad you're both back. And I'll be happy to have you two on anytime. I'm working on getting a couple of Yankee fans, some Met fans, maybe a Philly fan. I want to get.
Remember, we got Joe as a Mets fan.
Yep.
We got Jamie as the Yankees fan.
Marcus
got Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jason got LA Dodgers.
Yep.
I did talk to Tom. Jeremy, if you want to jump on with us Monday night, you're more than welcome to. Jay and Tom
Rav of Baltimore.
Well, unfortunately, the girlfriend works today.
I know. That's why I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to.
Yeah. And so Monday, I'm doing Valentine's Day with her. We decided that together because she finally has her day job off during the week this week, and she doesn't work Monday through Thursday. I don't work Monday and Tuesday, so Monday's Valentine's Day for us.
Okay, I didn't want to bring it up, but I know. I know. Tom and Jason are talking ball. Rich, you're more.
Yeah, I do got to fly, guys. So
all right, Rich, thank you for joining us, and that's Big Rich. Follow him on X, and also follow Driving to the Top Productions, which he's a part of running.
Yeah, definitely, and I'll see you guys tomorrow or Monday night on Two Tire Change.
Absolutely, Rich. See you Monday, buddy.
All right, guys. See y'all later.
Alrighty. See, that's the weirdest part. Like, the screens don't change. Usually on I don't know how to do all that stuff.
Because I went down and edited a screen. I made it this way.
Usually I don't make the shows, Jeremy. I just show up.
I know. On StreamYard, in the media, if you go down to where it says backgrounds, you can have AI create you a background. And then you can set your camera set up the way you want.
Is that what you did here?
Yeah.
Nice. I got to look into that. whenever I get home, I play with the dog. I make food, get and then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
I just jump on because I'm ready to go.
that's
I
what
guess.
you do. That's what you do.
Right.
I get it. But
I
that's
mean,
okay. You know what? You know what I love is that somebody asked me to do this, and I wasn't even going to do a show tonight. And I see I missed a call from you because I was working and we were busy. And I said, "There, oh, I'll give him a call." He goes,
right.
I'm like, fine, let's start it tonight. Because you know what? If I don't start it now and I wait about month and a half to where it's almost time for the season, I might go, yeah, I'm not going to do it. But I've been thinking about doing something through the summer on the weekends because I don't do shows on the weekends usually. But now that my
But
girlfriend works at 9 o'clock every Saturday
if
and
we
she
can
doesn't want to
get
go out and do anything, we can do
if,
this.
if we can get Tom and Jason on Monday nights, that could be movable. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm gonna talk ball with those two anytime. Those
Yep.
two rock.
Yep.
Tom's Boston, like I said, and he's got the full Boston accent and everything. And Tom's
Uh,
awesome. Jay's one of the most knowledgeable LA guys, and
yeah. I know Jason because he's a Packer fan.
right, absolutely. I've known all three of you guys for a long time, so
But that is the current logo for my football talking stuff. I am going to create one for baseball because
you
it
need to
needs it.
talk
It
to
needs.
you need to talk to Rav. Rav knows how to put them all together, like so they could both be up there.
No. I want separate ones because each
Okay.
show's different. The other one is basically Lions based, so I want to keep that logo for Lions, and I'm going to create one for the baseball roundtable talk with the Tigers team.
Okay.
It's
I was
just
just
what I want
saying.
to do. Hey, you got to admit that does not look bad.
If you made that Tigers Kellers and put a
That's what I
tiger in
plan
the
on doing.
middle, and I figured that's what you were gonna do.
Yeah,
Put
and
a
then
tiger in
change
the
it to
middle
where it's navy and orange versus blue and silver.
with a tiger in it, not a lion.
Yep. Yep.
I like it. I don't understand that too. That's weird. Um, what was I gonna
What
say?
the best part about getting the nickname Smoking Jeremy B, it was a fan that gave it to me. Did I tell you
Oh,
this story?
really?
Yeah.
No.
I used to be a guest before I ever got into podcasting myself on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, one of the oldest YouTube channels about the Detroit Lions there was. And I'm there with guys like Dosa Dion, Micro Mike. Jim Bordeaux is the one that created Detroit Lions on the Prowl with Tim and a couple other guys. And he invited me on there because I used to do a live on Facebook. And I just would do random Lions trivia every Monday until the season started. Then I would just do a game review on Monday, just talking with the fans of my of my group.
Right.
And one night he said, "There goes, wow." He goes, "How did you get your trivia questions?" I said, "I just thought about stats that I knew off the top of my head and would randomly throw one out to see if anybody knew the answer." He goes, "Do you mean you don't have to look this stuff up?" And
And
I said,
that was what,
"No,
2020?
2020." Yep. And then he said, "Well, you'd like to be a guest on my show because you accidentally know more Lion stats than I've forgotten in my lifetime." And I was like, "Sure." And that's how I got started. And I'm sitting there, and it was 11 a.m. on a Friday. I worked at the tire shop, and I would take my lunch then, and we just wouldn't do tires for an hour because I was the only tech at a small tire shop. And I would go outside the back, and I'd start smoking cigarettes and drinking my Mountain Dew. And I bought one of those little headset mics that was super hot. So every time I took a puff, this one guy goes, "My God, he sounds like Darth Vader when he takes a puff off his cigarette. I'm going to call him Smoking Jeremy B." And it stuck.
It happens, you get your nicknames into some of the weirdest places, some of the strangest times. Yeah, so something
But
sticks.
I want to thank everybody who tuned in for the first baseball talk show I have ever had. Marcus on the Go, Josh McNally, Ginzer, Nick Burton, MDE. You guys are great.
Patty Grimes.
Thank you. And Patty
I
Grimes.
think I saw her she made a
Yep.
comment.
Yep, she did.
She's good.
He did. Actually, he did. I get confused when somebody says she in the thing. It's he. It's a he.
I didn't see your dad in there.
No, Dad's sleeping at this time of night.
Oh, gotcha. I was waiting to do a little
Tempty.
dance.
I know. But just for you, Adam, since you're ready to do a dance, I got you.
Nope. All right, we're doing a dance.
All right. Well, thank everybody for watching. I appreciate you very much. Don't forget to like on whatever platform you're watching. Ring the bell if you're not a subscriber already. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. Have a blessed night, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.